everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I am Sabrina Seoul, and tonight is Tuesday. And we know what Tuesday night means. It means the Queens panel. We got the Queens here tonight for another episode of Single Soul Mates. Shout out to my soulmates that are joining us. I see you guys coming in. If you have not liked this video, make sure you like the video. If you are new here, welcome to my soulmate family. Make sure you subscribe. If you have not subscribed, make sure you click that black notification bell. So every time I upload or post a new video or go live, you'll be the first to know. So we're just going to go around the room. I know we're starting a little bit late. Thank you so much for being patient with us. We be on Color People time sometimes, but we are here. Okay, you could be anywhere in the world, but we are here, and y'all are here with me. So we're going to go around, starting with Alexis, then Jay, and then Jamie. Let them know who you are, where you're from, if you're working on any projects, and where they can find you on social media platforms.
Okay, well, hello, I'm Alexis Grace Williams, Alexis Grace W on all social media, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you can find me, Alexis Grace W. You may know me from Married at First Sight. If you don't, that's even better. But you may know me from Married at First Sight season 15. I'm originally from Hamilton, New Jersey, but I currently live in San Diego, California. Current projects I'm working on, really just getting back to myself. I'm a therapist, so I'm just trying to get back into what I love and what I know. I have some upcoming projects via Lifetime that I really can't discuss at this moment, but you'll see me on your TV screens once again. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here.
Nice.
Jay.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Jay. Of course, Bambi in the background being loud as usual. So if y'all hear her snoring, y'all know who it is. Yes, not my man. Okay. But you guys know where y'all find me on Another Round JS at YouTube and Another Round _JS on Instagram. Or if you want to be personal with me, the Sexy Tomboy on Instagram as well.
Hey, I love it. What's going on? Jamie Alexander here. You guys can find me at Jamie Alexander on Instagram and on YouTube. And make sure you spell it the way I spell it, which is Jaimi. And you can also find me at sassymethod.com. It is something I created. And as a transformational life coach, it's going so well. I'm having so much fun. And yeah, I created the Sassy Method. So get into it.
Get into it. And everyone, let's wish Jamie a happy birthday. Her birthday was this weekend. It is Gemini season, so I'm pretty sure she is going to be Gemini tonight like she always does. And you know we are here for it. So shout out to Jamie. Happy birthday. I kind of wish happy birthday to you.
Oh, get somebody else to do it.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Get somebody else to do it. I love it. I appreciate it.
No, you're right. All right.
I be the main one singing too. Ain't got no vocal ability to be singing.
I mean, you know. It's your channel. If you could sing it, if this is American Idol tonight, then this is American Idol. Okay.
Thank God it's not. Okay. But you know my heart. You know my heart.
That's what it is right there. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Shout out to Another Round. She is putting the links in the chat for our Instagrams, our social media. So definitely follow them on social media platforms. Definitely, especially I'm trying to see what's going on with Alexis, because she got something coming, and I'm trying to see, because I know when she was on Married at First Sight, everybody know that I'm a huge fan. I'm not trying to be fanning right now, but I was a huge fan of Alexis on Married at First Sight. If y'all have not watched her season, you definitely have to go back and make sure you follow her on social media. Yes, shout out to Another Round. Thank you so much for putting the links, and don't forget to put your link up there too, Jay. Okay. All right. All right, so we gonna get started. So let me go ahead and let you guys know what the topics are for tonight, the questions. If I interviewed your exes, what would they say about you? Okay, what he gonna say? He probably be swelling. He probably cap. Anyway, what is your definition of love? Love is patient. Love is okay. What do you consider husband material? And how long you gonna wait for your man to ask you to marry him? Like, how long you gonna stick around? Like, you like, screw, he don't gotta ever add, are we together forever? I mean, so how long are you gonna wait? All right. So let me know in the comments what y'all think. Like, answer the questions. I want to see some feedback. Shout out to you guys. I see you trickling in. Shout out to you for joining us tonight. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And if you want to hear what we have to say, definitely stick around. If you want to hear what the men had to say from last week's panel, definitely check out that video, because 2 of the questions that we're talking about tonight, they answered as well. All right. And next week, or tomorrow night, actually, will be the Kings panel, and their questions are spicy. All right, here we go. If I interviewed your exes, what would they say about you? Not all at once.
Which one? Because, baby.
All of them, y'all.
Oh, man. Which one? Because, Lord, I got, some would say, most as an average, most would say that we had fun, great time, no bad blood. I got a restraining order against one. So they would probably say no comment. Bad things, they say I'm stubborn and sassy. In the beginning, all the things that guys typically love about you. Later on, towards the end, when it starts to become a little bit more real, they're like, why you always got something to say? So they might say that about me. So it just depends on who you ask.
Jay, like, don't nobody say nothing bad about me. I'm fabulous. That's how you look right now. That's how your face looks.
No, I mean, I was actually thinking that. I'm like, who would say something bad? No, seriously, I don't want to sound like that, but I can't really. One person, no, maybe 2. I'm saying maybe 2 because one blocked me on Instagram only because I won't visit him when he comes to town. Like, so he blocked me. But this other one, we had a tumultuous relationship, especially towards the end. So I feel like that one will probably have the most to say, especially because I know how he spoke about his ex. So yeah, I know how he spoke about his ex before. So I know that one will probably speak negatively about me just because. But yeah.
Jamie.
Well, first of all, thank y'all for the birthday wishes. I should have brought my laptop so I could see the comments, but I really appreciate it. I'm a big birthday girl, so thanks for the love. So I did somewhat recently, and by recent, I mean within the last 2 years, had one of my exes actually come back and, he done woke up and found out, figured himself out. And it was all of the apologies, and it was all of the realizations, like I'm probably the only woman who ever loved him. How amazing our relationship was. He was so concerned about my well-being, some of the tumultuous stuff that we went through. He was just going over all that and apologizing because he knows I didn't deserve it. And he knew I was a good woman and that really no other woman measured up. And these are his words, not mine, because when I'm in a relationship, I'll go hard. But what I can say is like, I don't date often. Like I'll go out, but I don't take anyone serious often at all. So I don't have that much to work with, but it kind of feels like the guys that I was open with the most probably have the best things to say. But there are some times where I was like, I feel like sometimes as women, we're very willing to do all the things, give all the things, but the people that I was a little bit less with and was more like, well, these are my expectations and these are the things that I need, and more forefront about what my needs were and whatever, I'm really not sure. I've never gotten negative feedback, which I actually wouldn't mind, but because I don't know what I'm doing or not doing if nobody ever tells me the truth. But thus far, it's been very much like, you're amazing, your love is real. Like my love and loyalty has never been questioned. And I think that that's nice, especially in this day and age. So I probably have one ex who was just like, nah, because I was not doing well at the time. I was depressed and, moved to a new place. And he's probably one person who probably be like, I could see her heart. She was real cool, but like, nah, she I couldn't do that. And I get that. And I agree with him. We should have never crossed those boundaries. But otherwise, I would say my report card's an A minus.
C's get degrees. C's get degrees. Like, no.
Hey, listen. Trust me.
I'm like a good B plus if we rate it. I'm a B plus, closer to an A, depending. Because I like what you said about like the season that you were in. That tells you a lot about what that person would say about you. But as an overall statement of who you are as a person, I feel like those are possibly two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Because and that's actually what I was going to say. And I was going to give examples of like my younger Sabrina was aggressive, defensive, listen to respond, very closed off, not what is it, touchy feel, not affectionate. So and I was all those things, and and I just was like, wow. And luckily it came from someone where I like really trusted his opinion. I trusted his word. I trusted that he would tell me the truth. Because, some men out there just be like, you saying that because you mad or because I broke up with you? Like, why are you saying that for real? So when he told me that, I was like, wow, I really have some work to do. So as I got older, and it took some time. Like, it didn't happen overnight. Like, I wasn't all those things. And then the next day, I wasn't any of those things, you know what I mean? Like, I had to go through like a couple of dating situations for me to say, there I go. You know what I mean? And it's like, I recognized it. And that was like the greatest thing was that, and when it happened, it was like, wow, growth. Like that was probably one of the first times I realized and I noticed myself growing. I was like, this is what this feels like. This is what this looks like. This actually kind of feels good. You know what I mean? So once I got to that place where I didn't have any of those things anymore, it was crazy because once I got to this place, I was like, I could never date anybody that doesn't listen or that isn't affectionate or that doesn't know how to communicate or that doesn't listen to me. And you know what I mean? I'm like, dang, So now I'm at a place where I won't even tolerate those things in my mate. And moving forward, the exes I had, which are the exes I usually talk about within this now 11-year time span, it's crazy because 2 of them actually had really, really bad things to say about me, but which showed their immaturity. Because what happened is when I left them after the things that they had done to me, they turned to social media, because that's when within the last 11 years, they turned to social media. And the things that they were saying about me on social media was very heartbreaking. I'm like, dude, you just cheated on me. You put your hands on me. You still owe me a whole lot of money, but I'm crazy and I'm this and I'm that. And literally, and had people turn against me. Certain people wouldn't even work with me because of those things. You know what I mean? And it was really, really hurtful. But it's even crazier because after time has passed, it's like I talk to them and it's like, no, you were like the best thing that ever happened, but I could never forgive them because I'm just like, you evil mofo. Like, you were so evil and so upset with yourself because of what you did to me that you had to make me look bad to make you look good. It was like you were trying to beat me to the punch. Like I was going to go on social media. Honey, I didn't even want people to know that we were even ever together.
That's the one. That's
Let
the
alone
one.
go on social media to talk crap about you. I'm like, Lord, if I stay real still, won't nobody even know we was even together ever. You know what I'm saying? And then you go on social media and bash me, which you was trying to beat me to the punch. No. So yeah, so it was kind of crazy, but I can honestly say that, they really have had great things to say about me. And as like Jamie, it's like now I was stupid. I should have known better. But, I've even had an ex. I've even given an ex another chance. My one ex I gave a chance to ever in my life. And y'all heard me say it before. He was worse this time around than he was last time. I was like, this is why you don't go backwards. And I learned my lesson from that. But no, my exes would say I'm very affectionate. I'm very nurturing. I am patient, and I'm very loving. I'm very kind, very soft spoken. I'm very, what is the word when you kind of, I cater to my mate, yeah, my mom raised me at a very young age as a Korean mother. She raised me since I was maybe 8 years old to be a good wife. Teaching me how to cook. You clean, you wash clothes, you wipe dishes, you cook food, you grow food, you catch food, you eat food. You know what I mean? So she taught me at a very young age to hopefully one day you'll be a good wife. So, but yeah, so that's what my exes have said about me. So. I feel like my mouth is dry. I was talking.
I love that. I love it. It's good stuff.
So, does anybody have anything else to say or comment about what your exes say about you?
I think Jay was saying she had a quick question. Was that?
Oh,
I think her thing was glitching and she's trying to fix it. One quick thing I can say is, Sabrina, it's funny because with your...
I am glitching.
Oh. Jay?
I know I have a glitch right now, so give me a second. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna try to come back.
Okay.
Oh, you're actually good now.
No, I can't see you guys on my screen. This whole black.
You wanna go out and come back in?
So I gotta try to. Yeah, yeah. Can you put me down? Because I can't even put myself down.
Oh shoot!
Okay.
All right, I got you. Okay, there we go. Oh,
I was like, I was all in here trying to figure out what's going on with her. I'm all in the screen.
Okay, what were you getting ready to say, Jamie?
I was just gonna say it's interesting because as I was pondering over the question and heard what you said, it's funny because I started out more just like a Care Bear about it. I didn't have those, defenses or couldn't listen, or that I was just like almost stupid. I don't want to, when I look back and I'm like, damn girl, like your rose-colored glasses was on. Like,
yeah.
So it just, I think over time as, I started to go through things and experience things, because I came out the gate thinking like, no, we like each other. We're together. Men are going to be faithful. They're going to, he's going to love me and we're going to do this thing. And then all of these games and manipulation and all this wild stuff happen. And it does something to you. If you don't have all the tools, and this is why I life coach now, because I had to coach myself and read and, all kinds of stuff. It's like, I had to get myself to the point where I could kind of understand the difference between the two and when I can be all the way open and what that looks like. Like it became more of a dance. And, the way that the dating world has kind of been, back to your same last 10, 11 years, I don't know if I've really gotten the full extent opportunity to exercise the love I really have to give. And I'm not mad at it because there's no ring on this finger and nobody has really done what needs to be done as far as the level of commitment that I require. And it's kind of hard. I don't want to say it's hard to have these requirements because it's much harder not to, but it's like, I definitely noticed the game changed a lot when I just wasn't giving everything over. Like dudes will just take some, put some in their pocket, the back pocket, put some in their bag and take it home. And if you give it, they just gonna take it and eat, whether they have a, plan for you or not. Like I had to realize what part was my job to make sure I just wasn't being taken advantage of, because it is a lot of love, but this mess is reserved.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more, girl, because I typically do the same thing. I even with friendships, I trust you until you give me a reason not to. Like I come in 100 at 100. Like that's what I think I meant to do is love. Yeah. So of course, if you're my intimate partner, I'm coming in head first trying to love you. And a lot of people, they don't know what that feels like, for one. So it's abrasive. It's like, they don't know how to handle it. There's so many layers to it, to where it's like, I end up, I know we hear it all the time, making a lot of people better for the next person. And I don't often dwell on that, because it's in a sense like, if that's the least that I did for that person, then good job. Like it's fine. It happens to all of us. I'm sure some people made me better for the next person as well. But I learned boundaries along the way. And it's like, yeah, you can love hard. You can be nurturing. You can be kind. You can give yourself to people. But to what extent? Because I had to start telling people, oh no, that's reserved for wife duties. You know, like that's reserved for like, are we together? You know, you have to put the pressure. You have to really call it what it is, in my opinion, because a lot of the times I just had one of my exes tell me probably like a month or so ago, like, I was going to do all this for you. I had did all these things for you. And I said, did you ever ask me to be your girlfriend? You know, like, did we ever talk about a relationship? And he was like, no, but I had did this for you. You know, and it's like when you kind of give back the emotions that are given to you, it's kind of everybody's in shambles. So I learned just recently, honestly, to where it's just like sometimes you have to stand your ground and love can look different. And I always thought love had to be like, oh, anything you want, babe, anything, you know, catering to my man, doing all these things. But sometimes I can love you enough to realize that you're not in a position to receive my love the way that it was given, to where I got to back up. You know, I got to give it to you in a different way. And it may not look like cooking a dinner. It may look like, hey, babe, what we eating? You know, oh, are you going to cook for me? You know, it may look like that, but that's me trying to, in a way, better you because I understand that, I sense that. And I learned with diction and tact, you can go a long way, because a lot of the things that I used to say, you can't say it the same way.
Girl,
working on
I
it.
feel like I was rambling.
No, I caught all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm the same way because to me, I treat every relationship like it's my last relationship. Because in real life, if I'm dating you, then you must be the bomb.
Yeah.
Like you must be where I'm like, I'm ready to invest. Okay. So if I'm not going to just date you, just be like, well, he all right. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give him a try. No, that's not where we're at. No. Exactly. So if I'm dating you, yeah, you're gonna get all of me. And if something happens where I feel like this ain't working, I'm not going to be 50% in and 50% out. It's either 100% or nothing. Like I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right. And then when they do it, it's all right. But when you do it, it's a problem.
It's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
And then if you say anything about it, then you still become the problem. It's like, nobody, am I the only one looking in the mirror? Because when I'm coming to you, I can be like, you know, I know there was this or there's this, and I understand that I'm working. I'm not going to be non-cognizant of what I got going on, but you know, everybody want to act brand new, and it's a problem when I have needs or there's issues and there's stuff that's got to be worked out. Like, what made you think you was going to get into a relationship and not have to do no work? It doesn't have to be labor, but like,
for you.
See,
all the relationships before you told him that he wouldn't have to treat you the way that you wanted to be treated.
That's insane. It's the men are doing themselves a disservice with that. And what Sabrina said, y'all used to too many women with all of these rosters, and I date 4, 5, and I'm out here getting. That's cool, but I'm one at a time. I don't have the energy, and I appreciate my own energy. I don't need a guy on my. I can take myself out to eat. I'm a bomb cook. Like, we good over here. Right. If I stopped here, it's because I see something, and sometimes people don't have the confidence or the know-how to really rock with that and make it something. And that's okay, because like you were saying, Alexis, you may have made somebody better for the next person, which is a nice parting gift, because obviously at the end of the day, they're not the ones for you, and that's okay. Yeah. And you know, same here.
Absolutely. And yeah, and at this young age of ours, I don't have time to see if you're going to change. Y'all don't understand. Like, y'all don't understand. I date men that are in their 50s.
Woo!
We 50. Like, if you ain't where you at and where you need to be, then you're just not for me. It's not going, you 50. You're not changing. I have to accept that 50-year-old person that you are, or I need to be like, that's not the one for me.
But can you hear me? I want to make sure you can hear me, because I can't. My screen froze. I don't know.
Oh, It's
We
okay.
hear ya.
We can hear
Okay.
you.
Thank you. All right. So I'm listening, and I think I caught something Alexa said earlier, which was mirroring energy. And just now, what you're saying is being with a 50-year-old, and I have to accept your whatever you're giving me.
Oh, I ain't gonna accept it.
No, yeah, okay. I know. I was about to say, yeah, we definitely ain't accepting it. But you know, one thing about certain people that at a certain age, when they actually want you and you speak to them right, they will actually work
Honey.
on the things that you want. Okay, out of all this time I was fixing this computer, you did not cough once.
Oh, it's okay. Leave
You
that.
hear dog wheezing in the background.
Because she want to tell you her story. I'm telling my story right now, okay?
Oh baby alone.
But no, he will definitely work with you on your request. But it's sometimes I notice it's the way, and this is what I had to learn, is the way we deliver the message and the timing of when we deliver the message. I know I have to pick my battles. Certain battles I can mirror your energy, and some certain battles I just have to be the bigger person and just break down and say, let me talk to you. And vice versa, because I know with this current relationship that I am in, it was a struggle at the first because I'm stuck on my ways, he's stuck on his.
He not 50, is he?
Yeah, baby.
Because
Grown.
because the thing is I feel you, and I completely agree. Because I feel like if I'm in a relationship and he like, you know, baby, like you grind your teeth at night, I'm gonna be like, let me go get me a mouth guard. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or, you know, like I don't like when I talk to you, like I don't like when you address me. Like I understand it, but honestly, like the men that I have dated recently, for some reason, they won't. And I'm not gonna say that they like, and I know that these certain men, if I would be like, let's do this, they would want to do this. But
they don't want to change for you.
They're not changing. And I've even had opportunities and situations where I've kind of let them back into my life, and I've had conversations just to kind of see, like, you knew this is the reason why we're not together anymore. So let's say 3 months later, I'm having a conversation with him to see exactly like where his mental is and how he would respond to the thing that the reason why we're not together. And he still responds the exact same way. And I'm like, he doesn't get it. And I can take you to the water, but I cannot make you drink it, honey.
I feel like no matter what age, if a man is like that, we just not gonna comply. Like we just not gonna be compatible. That's how I just look at it, no matter what age he is at, because I've dealt with men at young ages. Both of us at our young age, but just that stubborn. And I know once we get that to that older age, it really get worse.
The young ones will work with me though. They like, oh baby, you don't.
That's what's up. That's what you need, baby.
I am not.
I tell me rolling on.
I'm not. I can't do no young. I can't.
Some of them
young
have
ones
their head on straight. Cynthia, girl.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah,
Sabrina, Cynthia.
I think honestly though. Wait, did I interrupt? Sorry, Oh, okay. I think because I'm kind of over here thinking about it, and it's like, yes, I wholeheartedly, 75% agree. But I remember when I first started school, one of the things about being a therapist is looking at your client and thinking or talking or having a conversation. Do you want to be helped? You know, because a lot of people just want to be complainers. A lot of people just want you to listen. Some people come to therapy and they just want to rant. And that's okay. You just need to know what they are. And I'm thinking how that translates to this conversation, because I'm just like, at some point, these men don't want to be, you know, like they don't want to do better. Like they're so stagnant in that place to where we're like, please change. And you have to ask, is that an option? Is that something that they want to do? And if the answer is no, it could be you. It could be Sister Mary Clarence. It could be somebody, you know, the perfect woman. If they don't want to do it, they won't do it, you know? So I think it starts internally to where it's just like a man assessing himself, or whomever, even females, assessing yourself and saying, do I want to be loved to the extent that this person's going to love me? Am I willing to change something about me that, you know, will possibly make me better? And a lot of people make excuses for reality that I just don't want to do better. I'm comfortable.
Yes.
People are afraid. That's what
Yeah,
I get
that
out of
too.
it. People are afraid, you know.
Mhm.
I have some male clients that I work with, and I think sometimes I can forget like how there's still a fragility to them too. Like sometimes I look at men as a certain pillar and they're strong and they're this and that, but it seems like they get very afraid to do different things. And I don't know what it is. This is, well, there's part of that question later, so I'm not going to touch into all that. That'll touch something else. But I just think people are afraid, and it's not as easy as you would think. And I do try to leave space for people to grow, because I know that takes time. I
Mhm.
know how much time it takes me, and I would hate for somebody to be like, oh, well, she 40, like she not gonna be
I
able
was
to.
about to say a 50-year-old, he about to be dead. We both about to be dead. Like, what
I'm
the
Well, he
hell?
would have taken it to the grave then. He would have taken it to the grave.
But there's still there's hope and possibility, but you have to see it. So just like you, Alexis, I'm sure with your clients, like you might ask them, they might say yes, and you know, week 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're like, I don't know, and then week 6, they're like, I did this and it was different, and I'm growing, and you know,
Yeah.
I try to give people some time. I'll try to work with, but just not too much time, because it does seem like people just get very set in their ways, and that's okay. Just go find somebody who's cool with you acting like that, because I can't do it.
But you said, Jamie, you
Because it
said
ain't
like the
me.
most
It's
important
not
thing
me.
in that, you know, you said the most important thing in that is the fear. Is
The
definitely the fear.
fear.
As a certain after a certain age, there is this fear in both men and women, but you know,
Mhm.
it comes out in men in that regards where they're just stubborn in the way of life, and they don't want to change for themselves for the better because they're content at where they're at.
Even
And
if they're not content, they still not going to change.
but I
They
don't
don't
know
be
something
content.
I can't. That's what it's the difference. If I feel like if you're at 50 or something, I need you to still have that ambition in you, because as long as you have that ambition in you, the contentness is
Yeah.
not there. And that's the hardest thing is I just can't work with a person that's content in where they are in life, no matter what. Some part of you still has to be growing. I don't care if your money is right, then you need to get your health right, or you need to get your mind right. Something has to constantly be growing. You know, I used to laugh when my grandma used to call me, you're a professional student. It's like I study life. I study
Yeah.
people and stuff because I
Yes.
plan to be here for a while. Like in my plans. Now, God might have different ones, but in mine, I plan to be here. And I love this is why I like these conversations, because I love learning other people's perspectives.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Me
and
too.
that's the thing. But I can't be with a man that is not open and likes to communicate back and forth, even with just me or himself. Like you have to talk to somebody. It is therapy.
Yep.
You need to
Yes.
get some things off of your chest. Like some people need to be there for you. And so lucky for me, I just had a man that was already used to therapy. So change is not hard in his mind.
Wow.
Mhm.
Therapy, a coach, a mentor, something.
But don't get it
Something.
wrong. He was on a whole routine. I had to break that. I'm like, with the baby, I don't do routines now. Like I don't do it. And I don't.
Mhm.
I'm I'm unpredictable. I got spontaneous. I got to do stuff. So you got to be a little bit spontaneous with me. And I like him because he balanced my spontaneous. I can't say the word spontaneity. Oh, see, there it is. Yeah,
Spontaneity.
y'all know it is.
Somewhere in there.
He balances it because he gives me a bit of structure that I need. So
I like that.
yeah, so it works out in a way. But I think
Mhm.
really, if I didn't find him in a place of that openness, I get what you're saying, Sabrina, because I was dealing with some other people around the same age, and it's like, child, okay, bye, lose my number. I don't care
Honey,
if you do or don't.
Yeah, it's okay. Never mind. Never mind.
look, I was dating someone back then, and Sadora was like, you don't talk to him anymore? I was like, child, no, he need therapy. So it's so funny because she and I will have conversations. She'll be like, have you talked to such and such? I'll be like, nope, I haven't talked to him. She'll be like, yeah, because he need to go get therapy. Mind you, Sadora is 10 years old. She like, Ma, no, because he does. And I'm like, stop, you can't say that to nobody else.
But you're right. But you're right.
But you right,
Listen,
though, right.
Get it
listen,
early. Take it early.
listen. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like,
Nothing wrong.
help yourself. This is about you.
But a lot of them don't realize they need it.
I know, but that's the
freaking
crazy part.
problem. Right.
You're not okay in some areas, and neither am I. This is not a dissing battle, but I'm just like you, Jay. My name means supplanter, to supersede and replace. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I can never stop superseding and replacing my thoughts, my habits, my this, my, so I'm always going to be that chaser. So
Yes, boo.
somebody else has got to be kind of like on the same page, or I'm gonna evolve myself out of their world, or vice versa. You know, it's just the way it is.
It's adaptation. That's the only way you survive, is you got to keep growing and changing, evolving. And with that evolvement, I want you to be there with me.
That's the whole idea, right?
Yeah, that's well, I'm gonna start tapping into the next question, but
yeah, I was like, I was about to start talking about some stuff.
We could go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the next topic. The next question topic is, what is your definition of LOVE?
Being able to talk to y'all through this snoring in the background, that's love right there.
We can't hear
We
it.
can't hear it. Leave that
hear
You
it.
can't hear it. She's so loud. That's my baby, though. I love her.
What is your definition of love?
Let me think for a minute. If somebody go.
I used to collect, like, back when newspapers were a thing. Do they still have newspapers? I don't even know.
Oh, Love Is. I remember those.
The Love Is. I have
did
like
collect those too.
stacks and stacks and books of the Love Is, because I always loved the little things that they came up with. Love is helping a friend. Love is planting a flower. Love is eating breakfast together. Love is, and that's what I think love is. I think love is very all encompassing. I think love is just like God is, I am. Like it's so full of potential and possibility. It reminds me more of where it's coming from and how we're designed and how nature flows and the best of ourselves, and wanting to give that and receive that is just what love is to me. It can be so many things. Obviously, it's not just romantic, and it goes so much farther than catering to somebody. You know, sometimes love is being quiet. You know, sometimes love is, you know, being the one to wash dishes, even though you keep asking, whatever it is. Sometimes love is getting somebody something that they don't even know how to verbalize that they need, but you're receptive and intuitive to that, so I could just go on and on. I just think that love is just like God is, I am. It's this whole thing, this whole energetic thing that's available to all of us to give and receive in a plethora of different ways.
That was so beautiful. What she said. That's what I
That's what I was about to say. Like
everything she said, I agree. Everything.
That's because Jamie used to read all them Love Is. I used to have them too, Jamie. I love
got
them
stacks. They're just cute. I was like, yeah, this is love. Like,
as Shay said, there was a great show called Love Is.
Oh, I love that. I didn't know that.
Well, love definitely ain't blind. I tell you that. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh man,
I'll add on to what Jamie says, because it's definitely all of that. But then there's love is, it's growing, it's living. Like it says, the action word. Love is definitely kind and patient and all those things that it says in the Bible. But then there's love is also protective. Love is understanding, graceful, and grace giving. Love is, it's like, love is like this very powerful like frequency that a lot of us is not resonating on anymore because of fear. And it's like when you're in that space of love, it's a euphoria, it's a high. It's like you're floating on clouds. If you know, like that imaginary thing, you're just on clouds a lot of times. But it's also realistic. It's also ugly at times. It's also being like in a state of a little bit of fear because you don't want to lose that bit of love that you have. You know, it will fight. It will stand its ground. But you know, I think like love for me, the biggest thing love is for me is feeling safe and protected at all times. And that's even with myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I think once you start loving yourself first, finding love for other things outside of you becomes way more easier.
And you give other people grace, like you learn to give the
Hmm.
grace that you give yourself. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're adding right on time. But yeah, that's where I think it is.
I think one thing that's important to me about love, because you both, both of the J's have said wonderful answers. I think consideration. And the
Mhm.
older I get, I find so much value in considering me. And there's so much love in just relational friendships to where you just think about me. Before you go and do something dumb, consider me. When you out at Chick-fil-A getting something, consider it. You get what I'm saying? Like every single thing from bigger to small, just did you consider me? I think that's what has impacted me a lot lately regarding love, because I think I fall in love, not in love. I love every single day. I think that's my duty on this earth, is to love. I just actually had a conversation with a girl I'm dating about the difference between being in love and loving someone, if there is any difference. And I don't know if you ladies want to comment on that, but
It is.
okay, go ahead, steal it.
No,
Go ahead.
okay, and then I got to come back to a comment Kathy McMillan, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
they had said. But I do feel there is a difference between love and being in love.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if we answered this question once before. I feel like I kind of said
We
this.
did. Yep, you
We
should.
touched on it, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
sorry, I'm new here.
No,
No,
no.
but I want a whole refresher. Like, go
Yeah.
in.
So for me, I always say you can love any and everybody, but to be in love with somebody is a whole different feeling. Generally, you can't be in love with two people at the same time. That's what the general notion is. Now, you should be in love with yourself and the next person as well, but it becomes a little tug of war because tend to either love one or the other a little bit more. So, being in love, according to my family, I'll say it like this: we generally say to fall in love with somebody is the most difficult thing to do, but it's the most awesome feeling to have, especially if that person falls in love with you around the same time. My
Ooh.
dad tends to say that it is a fleeting feeling that you both are in passing. And sometimes you just miss each other. The other person becomes in love right after you fall out of it. And so sometimes when you be blessed enough to find that person right as you're coming out, they're either entering or vice versa. That feeling, that moment right in there is just like pure happiness, bliss, everything that God wanted us to have. And on earth, that's what you feel in that moment. And if you can hold on to that moment as long as you can, it's fleeting. Being in love is fleeting. So it's not going to stay there all the time, but loving somebody and having love for somebody is always there. And then you have like, which is kind of like the it's a strong version. What like I say, sometimes you be in love with you love people, but you don't like them in that moment. You don't
Yeah.
like what they're doing, but you still have love for them. You still do drop your hat for them and all this stuff. You still do for them.
Mm-hmm.
So like
I
is kind of more like that. Inside out of like it's more like that being in love phase on the childish end. I'll say it like that.
Fair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that perspective, and I love that what your family and your dad said, because it does. What is it? The beginning of that song with Wale and Usher, Matrimony. I think he talks about it's like, crossing
That roller
planets.
coaster. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
it's like
second
you
one.
cross and you get close enough to think I could jump on
Hmm.
jump on their planet at this time. I don't know. I can't find the difference though of loving and being in love. I was never good at that. Um, to love somebody or to be in love, I can't really. I don't know. I even though I get what you're saying, I still can't all the way. I don't know, wrap my head around the difference of it. But I just
So I came up with this analogy the other day when I was having this conversation, and it may confuse you even more, but I feel like I'm going to say it.
Say it.
So my concept of, I just added it for languages. So I may love Spanish. I took one class of Spanish when I was in high school. I loved it. I studied, I got an A. It's great. I am in love with French. I continue to take French. I continued to immerse myself in the French culture. I wanted to speak French. I wanted to eat French food. I continued to nourish it to where it's just like, you could call me French. You get what I'm saying? Like, it becomes a part of me. So in my mind, that's how I consider, like, yeah, I still have love for Spanish because, you know, I can say hola, I can do that, but I didn't nurture it. I didn't do the same things that I did for Spanish for that language, French. And that's how my mind works. And it might have confused you, but that's how I differentiate the two.
Mm-hmm. I think it makes perfect sense. I think both of you guys make perfect sense. I think I'm in a space of integration over compartmentalization, and that's helping me kind of navigate things more in totality, as opposed to on, even though there is, I mean, you guys are right. Like there's different levels to things. I get all of that, but I think maybe I'm just in a space of kind of like erasing that for integrational purposes. And I'm like, well, if I really sit here and think about it, there's levels to it, I guess, but it still all feels the same. Because I feel like if it still feels the same, maybe that will give me, you know, more room to be in that continuation of the energy that Jay was talking about. Like, you know, it's fleeting. It's only a moment that you get that. I'm like, damn, I want to be love. I want to be in love, and I'm gonna love it all. Even if it's temporary, it's still going to be the same, like, totality.
I think it's a lot of choice though, because like,
it is all choice.
It's a choice. Yeah. Because
yeah.
every day you got to wake up, like for the analogy, every day I got to wake up and remind myself, because I wasn't born speaking French. This is a foreign language to me.
It's hard. Yeah.
So every day I got to remind myself to choose French and to choose to indulge myself in that culture and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, it can be fleeting, but at the same time, it's like you can choose to stay in it, because in that moment, I wish Jay was here so she could. In that moment when you're halfway in and halfway out, you can choose to come back in. You get
it's the choice.
And it doesn't have to be the passing of the planets. It can be rotation. You get what I'm saying? It can
yes. So I like that. Yeah.
So you know how when I knew the difference between being in love and the difference came when I had my daughter. I realized the difference. Like the love I have for her, like I would die for her in an instant. The love I have for her and the love that, let's say, I have for my man, which that kind of love for my man, I would die for him. But the two different loves, it's literally two different kinds of loves. I could love him this much. I could love her this much, but it's so different. And I'm not sure. I don't think y'all have kids. I mean, I don't know. I think for someone that has a child, and because, you know, it's some people out here too that have kids that don't even care about the kids, let alone love them. So I can only speak for me per se, but that's how I realized what the difference of the two were. I know, Jamie, you said that you're like at that point where you're trying to like integrate. Once you have a kid, you're going to remember this conversation and you're going to be like, now I know what Sabrina means.
I believe it.
I promise you. Like, it's crazy. The love that I had for this little girl and the love that I have for her right now was, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I wasn't there yet. I wasn't there. I probably got there when I was maybe about 6 or 7 months pregnant. And I was like, oh my God, that level of love that I had for her, literally, like if this is the highest, this is the exact amount of love that I have for her to this day. And it doesn't go away. It doesn't fade. If anything, it grows, but it's like, how can it grow even more? You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm at that highest level. Now, when I'm with my man, like my man, and I am in love with my man, my mate, and I'm like, yeah, can't nobody like this. That's I'm till death. We gonna die together, or I'm gonna kill him. One of the two. It don't matter. We gonna be together. You know what I'm saying? So So it's like I've had that love before for someone. You know what I mean? So it's like how I feel that maximum amount of love that I could have for him is, I feel like, is the same amount of love that I have for her, but completely different. I don't even know how else to explain it because I feel like I keep repeating myself. But all I can say is once you get there, you'll know. I promise you. That's all I can say.
Sabrina, there's different kinds of love, like agape.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a love you have for your friends, the love you have for a pet, the love you have for your spouse, your mother. So you're perfectly right. Like, no, it's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna just say the love for the baby is God's love, baby, because that's how I feel. I'm like, God, I love my child like God love the world. Okay.
Yes.
Y'all have no idea what I would do for that one right there. And I'm like you, Sabrina, it didn't come right away.
It didn't.
But when it came, it stayed, and it grew as she grew, because it was just, I'm watching another life that I made just blossom.
Yeah, women are so powerful, man. I don't think people really have taken the time. Some people I'm sure have, but some people that haven't really taken the time to think like we can create a whole nother person in our body. Like what?
It's
like,
wild.
Like put some respect on it.
Just a little bit. Dang.
Some respect on it. This ain't just your pleasure space, even though it's that too.
Yeah,
it's just to put a little respect.
It's a love that radiates. Like right now, I'm watching my sister just be so in love with her baby right now.
That's
and
what I'm watching. Yeah,
it is so beautiful, and it's just funny because I watch him too, and he just loves his mama wherever she at. He just sits and stares, and I'm just like, this is so adorable.
Oh my God, it melts me. Like my baby sister has 2 now, 2 under 2. She has a daughter and a son, my niece and nephew, and I'm just like, I love her because I loved my sisters. I don't know, I haven't had a child, but my sisters, it was that thing. Like you know, one of my sisters, I'm running down the street barefoot, ready to fight whoever. What'd you say to my sister? Like my sisters are as close as I'll know to my babies. But to watch her have babies and the way they look at her and the way she looks at them, it's so beautiful. And yeah, I believe it's something you'll only know once you experience it. You know, so it's beautiful. I love it.
Yep. Absolutely.
I love what Alexa said, because love comes in different forms, because my fur babies definitely got a different love. Like you love them differently. Of course, you love your man differently. Like I love my daddy, but I love my man. Like I love my daddy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you got these different loves, and that's the beautiful thing about life. It's just like love comes in many forms too.
Absolutely. But yeah, I hope that more people start putting a little bit of respect on it. I was watching Instagram post. I forget what the girl's name is. Lady girl. I feel like she's kind of young, and she was speaking so much. She was like, you know, the man that, you know, she would love is for him to understand, like, we have menstrual cycles. Like we get emotional. It like, you know, sometimes our back hurts. Sometimes we just don't feel good. Sometimes, you know, like, you know, we're superwoman, but some days we just don't feel like it, you know? And she was like, I just want a man to be like, not like, dang, like, why you always complaining? Why you like, you always in, like, how come you didn't, like, she was like, why can't the man just be like, Dad, babe, I understand what you're going through. Why don't you have a seat? Let's talk about it. Like, tell me about your day. Tell me how you really feel. Let me make you some tea. Like, you know, like, can we live in our femininity? Yeah, can we like live in our femininity? Like, it's like we're human too, you know, and it's like,
and we're different.
And we're all different.
Don't get me started, because
men and women, we're different.
I swear they want y'all in y'all femininity until y'all get in it, and y'all get too far in it.
And they're like, oh, that's enough.
Right. But instead of being so dismissive, like, try to really understand us, you know, like, yeah, like, I wish I could like talk a little bit more about the post, but like, I just was like, this is a word, honey. But anyway, that's enough about that. Okay. So are we done? The definition of love.
It's us being here talking to all of y'all. That's what love is, baby.
Honey,
right?
This is soulmate love. Let me tell you something.
All the reciprocals.
Okay, exactly. So what do you consider husband material. What do you consider the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with? What kind of materials do they need?
What kind of materials?
If he only had a brain. No, no, I said it. No, I need him to have a brain. Like I need him to utilize it in any capacity he needs and deems fit. But I need it to be functioning and like on some stuff. Like I need. Okay, so when I say this, I'm saying I need an intellect first because I'm a sapiosexual or whatever. So I need conversation. I need you to be able to hold some decent conversation. I also like to laugh, so I need you to have a bit of humor up in there, but be secure enough that when it's dead space, we don't have to feel it. I don't mind being and sitting and silent with you. If you give me good energy, the vibe that radiates off of you comes to me and it just tingles my soul, you my man. Okay, that's all I can say. Like I need your energy to just constantly be pouring into me because mine is going to be pouring into you. Like you lady said, I'm the same way earlier. I'm giving you all. So I need all back because I don't want to be drained by the end of the whole relationships. Now I do know some days your work environment, whatever you've been going through your day is gonna have you a little bit. You need to pull from me a little bit more. But I need some of days where I need that energy back. I need to be able to get it back from you. So if I feel like you're just constantly draining my battery, I don't know. I don't really care how good of a man you are. It's just not going to work for me. I can't. I've been with a black hole before and I won't talk bad out of him because he's really a good dude, but he was just in dark space. And that was a lot, especially coming from me because I like to stay positive because I know once I get into a depressed state, it's hard to get me out. So I try to stay on the jovial side of life on purpose. And so I just need you to be over there on that side with me so we won't both go sink into a sunken place. Like that's the last thing we need is two of us stuck in a house on the edge. Okay.
The balance.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, outside of that, of course, you want, now that I got spoiled a little bit, so you know, I want a man with money, you know what I'm saying? I like it. I like this life. But I've been across the board. I've been with a person where I've had to, you know, give helping hands when I can and, you know, different things. So I've experienced different parts. I just like the stage I'm in right now. So I would don't mind him having some nice wallets that he liked to share because I like trips. But I also want a man that can go on these trips with me. So that's where my compromise lies because I got a business owner. So I can't get him to leave the job as much as I like.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Who would like to answer next?
For me, I would say at the top of that list is consistency. And I gotta even pull it back a little because I don't have a list. I feel like there's some characteristics that if you have these characteristics, the list isn't really necessary because if you're considerate and consistent, chances are you're going to be ambitious. You get what I'm saying? Like some things are like subcategories. Yeah. So for me, it's a big thing on characteristics. So someone for sure is consistent because y'all know sometimes they be like all in and then they drift off. So consistency is really big for me. Somebody who's oh girl.
I thought she was mad at the man drifting off. I was like, I feel you, girl.
That damn fly. I've been trying to kill that.
If you don't get some consistency,
because they be drifting off.
Right for me.
Yeah.
Be consistent like Slim.
Y'all know I'm so random sometimes.
Oh my God. What in the net is going on?
Went right in the middle of the street. I was like, oh, hell no. He disrespected me now. You're like, I know you ain't going to do it. You ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to lay it right here.
Now he gave you the look.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh,
I was like, Alexis got her with that one. Consistency. So don't y'all be falling off.
I thought she felt it.
Yeah, that consistency is everything.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry. Please continue. Please.
What did you at least get it? Did you get it?
At
I'm
least.
looking for him. I really hope that.
Oh, she did not get him.
His wing is broke. How he gonna come back? He literally is crawling up to me with one wing broke.
He said, "I'm gonna show you consistent."
Right, there you go.
And persistent, consistent and persistent.
Persistent and consistent. Like, I'm gonna show you.
So what we need is a man like the gnat.
That's the word right there. That's the word right there.
Right. I got you. Broken wing and all. I got you, boo.
I'm still around. I ain't going nowhere. Well, okay.
Right.
I'm about to go throw him in the trash.
Oh my God.
Like what I did with my exes. No, I'm just joking.
I was just thinking of something when y'all said that. I forgot it that quick. Somebody who I'm really finna tell it like it is, because I want somebody who is like on the borderline of obsessed with me. Like, I want you to be all about me for real. Like, not on a annoying, selfish level, but on a focused, I'm your wife, you're my husband or wife as well. You know, like, I want you to be all about me, us to be all about each other. And I think that's really just important. Like, you even if you don't care about if you don't like hiking, like, babe, I'm gonna try it out with you. Or, you know, I'm gonna get you some boots so that you can hike by yourself very well. You know, like, I just want somebody to be all about me, and you can say whatever you want, but that's a part of my list as well. I think self-aware, God-fearing, for sure. Somebody who'll go to therapy. Characteristics. I like somebody. Can we do superficial things real quick too? I like somebody athletic.
This is your materials.
Athleticism. Like, because I'm an athlete, so if you could throw me a pass and I score, oh my gosh, oh. That does a lot for me.
He's bae.
What'd you say?
They bae.
Yeah. And then also I'm really into fashion. If you could dress, that's a bonus. But just really strong on the security, consistency, security emotionally, physically, monetarily, just security across the board for me. Just me feeling secure is very important to me. But I think I really that's pretty much it. I'm not too big of a stickler, because I know that nobody will be perfect. Like, if you're trying to work and you're ambitious and you have the characteristics to where it's just like, maybe you don't have the life experiences to meet other criterion, you have the base, you know, you have the solidness to where it's just like, okay. But then again, potential done got me seeing the potential of people.
Oh,
It's me every time.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I said I got to see you already in your potential. You got to be already in your potential with me, because
I done tried it. I did my community service in that area. I really did.
Child, I was a regular parolee. So
I did it. I'm finished because it's just too hard on me.
Yeah. And a last thing I would say is just somebody that's financially stable and just financial maturity, literacy, just all of it. Like, you not say, I don't know what my credit score is. How you look that up? Baby, I gotta go. You know, like, I got to go. So that's pretty much it for me. I know what I know. So
I mean, y'all.
I love that.
Y'all pretty much said everything that I need in my future husband. So I don't think I need to repeat anything. It's pretty much.
I don't mind sharing, you know, my thoughts on that. It's a beingness. I remember being out when I was outside over the weekend. And there was a guy I saw. He wasn't the finest guy. He wasn't the tallest guy, but there was something about him. It's like I could smell it. I was like, what is that? What is that? You know what I mean? It was just kind of like there's this thing. And so of course I made my way closer just to kind of like, you know, put myself in that and see, and then close enough to where I could check for a ring. And sure enough, he had one on his finger, and I was like, oh, every time I smell something I like, but there's something about him. I want a husband. So there was something about him that was husband.
Yeah.
So what I look for in a husband is a man who is one. Be a husband. Are you a husband? Ring or not? Are you like, is that your jam? Is that what you're trying to learn about? Do you have mentorship for that? Are you seeking that? Do you have visions of your future? Are you working towards that? Like, are you being a husband? Because to me, that beingness is like, you're already there. So I feel like it should be easier for you to find me. And when you do, it's going to be a yes or no for you. We shouldn't need to play around for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And then I'm not saying there's no value in getting to know people and all this and that, but I want a man who is a husband. I am a wife. I'm not in the streets. I call myself an unmarried housewife. I'm already living the life that I desire to live with my man. I'm taken care of. I be at home. I be doing my cooking. I move the way I would move if, I had a person or not. So I just kind of expect some of that same energy. Like, you can't, if you out here, you got a roster and it's this chick, that chick, and you dating chicks that don't make sense and all of that. Like, I don't think I'm going to smell you because you don't have the stability. You don't have the juice to sustain. So there's a lot of characteristics. And like Sabrina said, you guys touched on a lot of them, but just somebody obviously who does the work, who can make a choice, who's sure of himself, who wants to be a husband. That's got to be his jam. Like, you got to find pride in that. Like, your chest need to be out about being then I'm like, okay, like, this is not something I force him into. He's not doing it because of religion. He's not doing it because this is what you're supposed to do. That he genuinely sees himself as the day in, the day out, and then the father. And, he's actively wanting to be great at that. So, very protective, very loving, definitely financially stable. Because I'm giving stay-at-home housewife, whether I'm doing something or not. That's just what I'm saying out the gate. It is what it is. And somebody who has the stature that kind of already speaks commitment. He got to be committed to himself first and foremost. Because when things come up, I look in the mirror first. Like, I'm gonna feel like I know what I feel like you did, but I'm gonna also look at my contribution, and I need somebody to do the same so we can actually have a conversation. So those are just some of the things, but boy, when I'm out, I can spot me a husband. I'd be like, like, oh, she got him.
Girl, the prerequisite that none of us mentioned before you is wants to be a husband. That's
that's gotta, like,
a lot of people don't think about that because they can have all the characteristics we listed, but don't want to be a husband.
They don't. They might, a lot of them, I got guy friends, they do it because of religion. It sounds good to be a husband. I'm supposed to do this, and she's pregnant now, so I gotta marry her. And please don't bring none of that over here. Like, if you're doing your work and you want to be a husband, I feel like you're gonna be able to see your wife. That's why if you're over here, yes, we should get to know each other and have all those things, but I'm expecting that level of leadership. Like, oh, I was watching a post earlier today, and this girl was talking about how she saw this guy and this woman just all in each other's faces and giggling and laughing and kisses, and they're just living it up at the bar. The kind of thing you look at and you're like, damn, that looks like some good loving right there. And, long story short, she spent some time in talking to the couple about it. The woman was very upfront with what she wanted and what she was about. And one of them was like, she had to make clear, like, I'm a stay-at-home housewife. And she was a doctor at the time. So we're not talking about being broke and not bringing nothing to the table. We're talking about what we want. And the guy said that she was my dream girl. And he was acting accordingly. So I want to be his dream girl. So, but you got to be at home dreaming about a wife for you to even, is it me or not type of a deal? Like, do you see that in me? Because now I can let you lead. Now I can give you all of that receptivity because I know you're in my space for a viable and healthy reason. Now, if it doesn't work out, that's one thing. But do you want to be a husband or no? For real.
Jamie, that's so much easier said than done, because there are men that's out there that says that I'm their dream wife. They just not my dream husband.
No, well, obviously it needs to match up. Like, it's got to match now.
Oh God.
And I've heard that too, but I really think when a man approaches it that way, like, we'll know. Oh, hey Jay.
Hey,
We'll
Jay.
know. We'll know and we'll feel it because men know how they perform when they're activated. I need that activation. I can't, I can only do so much to incite that in you. But if you come over here activated, you're gonna get all of this receptivity, femininity, care, nurturing. I got it. I'm giving it all
add
up.
something.
I'm giving it up.
Jamie, let's add something in your mantra. Do
What's
you
that?
see yourself as my husband?
Mhm.
That's what you need to add. Not just as a husband, because yeah, he can see himself as a husband. You're just not his wife.
Gotta
And he
be
can be wasting your
intentional.
time.
Well,
But let's
before he
hashtag my.
meets me,
Ooh.
I want him to have that before he meets me.
That okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but you're right. It might. That's what I'm saying. If he think he sees something over here, let's talk about it.
Mhm.
Want to be a husband? You think you see something over here? Now we're working with something. But all of this, I'll tell you what I get a lot of is men who just is like whatever, and they, they going out and do whatever. They come across me and it's fun, it's energy, it's cool, and then you find out I'm actually a good woman, and now it's like, oh, let me get it together. That's not how that works. There's got to be a certain alignment that he has first. And that's the leadership we all talk about, right? We want to yield to each other. Like, I'm in the space to yield to you and vice versa, because I know what I want. And when it approaches, I'm confident that I'll be able to be like, oh, okay, let me just give it all over because he doing it all right.
I'm about to
I
speak
think
this to
okay,
you.
so I'm
go
split
ahead.
between both the Jays, and I have experience. I completely agree with Jamie as well, but I do like how Jay put my husband, because I came across a guy to where he was so ready to fall in love, he was so ready to be a husband, he was just looking for a placeholder. To where it's just like, yeah, so it's like
Get his practice in on you.
But that kind of man, that's not husband action. There's no placeholder.
He
So,
probably
see,
doesn't realize
It's
that.
practice.
and well, they still married to this day. I just remember in college, right? In college, there was a guy who was like, I'm just so ready to fall in love. I want to be established. I want to start my life. They're just so focused on the future, to where he's not leaning into being grounded. And me being the realist that I've always been, it's just like, well, what's your name? Where like, let's get to know each other. Let's date, do these things. Moral of the story is the doppelganger, him and my doppelganger ended up getting married, to the extent to where it's just like, were you looking for just a wife in general? And I even saw that sometimes with Justin from Married at First Sight, to where a lot of the times he would plan these dates for me. And keep in mind, this is already my husband. He would plan these dates for me, and it would be like something off his Pinterest board. Keep in mind, we were strangers, but this is, 6-7 weeks into where it's like, substantially enough about me to where you can formulate a date that's more personable to us, who we are.
Right.
So I think the difference, I was going to try to do the big one. Anyway, the difference between the two is, do you want to be my husband? And I think that's why I'm kind of split in between the two, because it's like, I want you to come with those qualities, but are they in a direction that are, I don't know. Yeah. I really, you get what I'm saying? Like, I know you want those qualities, but what is guiding your search for a wife? What is guiding your intentions? Is it just for you to just be somebody's husband because they, like you said, they like the feeling, they want to be it, they breathe it, they smell it, they are it. Mm-hmm. And at a certain point, when you get to bigger ages, some people just are like, she'll do, Yep. So correct. Like, do you want to be my husband?
Correct.
My husband. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's where we gotta make sure that's my job. I'm always working on making sure I'm following my intuition. Yeah. Not just hearing her, but actually following it. Because I do feel like responsibility for some of my failed relationships, because I knew pretty early on I shouldn't have even been in them.
Exactly.
And because I didn't follow my intuition, I done got everybody into a mess, feeling some kind of way. And that wasn't the intention, but I can take responsibility for that. So in the meantime, while I don't have that going on, I'm just going to continue to not only be the best me, but really work on not only hearing my intuition, but moving accordingly. Because I think if we can weed out the ones that ain't faster, I feel like we could probably save the energy to get to the one and then figure out if what he's saying makes sense. Like, am I a placeholder, or is he just wanted so bad, or is it Jamie Alexander? Is it me? Is it this?
Yeah.
I need to know.
So I'm going to say this, Jamie. I don't proclaim to have any powers or anything like that, but I want to say something over your life. And I want you afterwards to, as much as you can, intentionally change some of the wording that you use as far as describing your man, manifesting your man into your life. I do not want a man that thinks you are the one. I want him to know you are his one. I want him to want you and need you. He needs to breathe you. Okay. I'm not saying he has to be obsessed with you, but he has already felt you in his dreams. That's what you want. That's what I want over you. So just as going forward, it ain't no thinking. My uncle be on my head about them procrastinating words, but no thinking. He knows he has a plan for you. You are in his plan and included in his plan, and you are about to be known of this plan. Okay, so I want all of that.
You better stop right now.
For you, my love. Okay, because and the time I've gotten to know you, I know your heart. You know what I'm saying? You're a big personality, but your heart is very loving. And you deserve somebody to reciprocate all of that back to you. So I really want him to see you, not just be listening to this and see you up there and be like, oh, she gorgeous. Let me check out what she's saying and play in your face with what you're saying. I want him to actually, when he actually sees you in person, say, oh my God, even if I was about to play in her face, not my wife.
Amen.
Okay.
Not my wife. Not my boo, not bae.
Thank you for that, Jay. And I am going to clean up my language. My language is cleaned.
Yeah, girl. My uncle be on my head. He'd be like, stop them procrastinating words. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yes. I receive
because it's that when you're saying it, I feel it. That's what that's what it is, and it's it can feel like a tall order. Especially when we're focused on the 3D and we're looking around and we're reading stuff and seeing stuff and experiencing stuff. We're like, but you're right. It is what it is. And it's got to be that definitive language because that's what it is. Like at the beginning and the end of the day, that's just what it is,
Specific and intentional.
Yes.
Period.
So good.
Like I be like, God, I told you, I said that he needed to be bald. God, it's not hard. I know I'm trying to meet you halfway, but we already did this. You sent me a guy with hair. It didn't work.
Sabrina guy said, trying to tell you he eventually gonna be bald. You just got to work with him until.
Be patient.
Yes.
You know what's funny?
I'll save it all for you, baby.
You know what Winter said on one live long time ago, but Winter from Love and Marriage, whatever.
Yeah.
She was like, I wouldn't trust them bald men because you don't want to be with nobody whose hair don't even want to be with them.
Oh, I'm gonna beat Winter. Tell her don't get at my baby.
I was like Winter.
Let me tell you.
That was a reach, but it was funny.
But I did this celebrity kickball thing this weekend, and Winter was one of the ladies that was there. Let me tell y'all something. Winter is like that in real life.
In real life.
Is all hell. She is a hilarious guy. Winter is everything. Yeah, but you're right though. Now that I think about it.
I don't know if you should run with it, but I thought
you said
not now that I think about it.
You are silly. And and I just want to put the disclaimer out there. Earlier, I was like, yeah, just like I threw all my exes away, like with the fly. I just want to say, y'all know I don't be talking about, I be speaking facts, but I don't really be talking bad or whatever. So I just I was just joking.
It's a joke.
Yeah, joke is a little jokey joke, but
in your feelings, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying. So my apologies if I offended anyone. But if they are in the trash, it has nothing to do with me. I have moved on, moved forward, but I just want to apologize for that because no male bashing over here. We love our Black men over here.
I'll be having to give the same disclaimers with my reels because it is, to me, it's funny. It's just funny. You're supposed to laugh.
They do be funny.
I'm not
And then I'd be
mad.
like, ooh, I'm gonna go in the comments and see what they said.
It's so hard today just to entertain, have a good kiki, like seriously,
Mhm.
because
You can't do that
everybody,
no more. Everybody get
no,
offended.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Everybody get offended.
I
But
can't.
anyway, girl, me neither. But still, at the end of the day, y'all know I try to be respectful. All right, so moving forward, last question. How long before you wait to ask your mate, your man, whomever to ask you to marry them? Did I say that right? I said it wrong earlier. How long you waiting? How long you sticking around? 6 months, we married. As longer than 6 months, we breaking up. Or I don't ever got to get married. We could be together forever. And like, so what's y'all's thoughts and views on that? Like, how long y'all waiting?
I made a joke when we was behind the scenes and Alexis was on Married at First Sight. I was like, that, get it done. And she was like, nah.
Not waiting. Give it to him. Who ready?
Right.
Meet me at the author.
Like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? James. You ready to get married? Literally. I love that show.
I would not do that
it's
again.
crazy.
I would not do that again. I'll tell you that. I think it honestly, it came from the fact, I think, I don't remember who mentioned it earlier. I was just already a wife and I was so ready to be someone's wife to where I was the person ended up looking for that placeholder. You get what I'm saying? I ended up being I just want somebody who's just as ready as me. Not really being intentional, obviously. But going forward, this is such a subjective question because for me, it's just like, I trust myself, I love myself, and I give myself so much grace, obviously, to the extent to where it's like, I believe it's true. I'm going to go for it. I mean, I'm going to try and make better decisions than a stranger going forward. But if it's a year, if it's 2 years, I'm with it. And I think anything more than that is obsessive because I think when people really know, it takes what, 6 months to really know someone as much as you're going to know them. Right. So what are we waiting for? Are we progressive? What do these look like? Have we had the conversation? But for me, I'm capping it at a year and a half.
So
maybe
we
2.
have to let everybody know because there's a lot of people that don't know. So everybody, let me explain to y'all what Married at First Sight is.
Oh.
So Alexis Grace, because it's pretty much 90% of my subscribers are from Ready to Love. So Alexis Grace is on, if y'all don't know, it's a show called Married at First Sight. Alexis was one of the castmates on there and she got married at first sight, literally. What that means is she walked up, got a wedding dress. It's a whole wedding. I mean, in real life wedding. She walked down the aisle. Her husband, that she ain't never met before, was standing at the other end waiting in his tuxedo with his family, her family, his family. A real wedding. They just ain't never met each other.
Legally binding. I just got divorced Thursday.
Oh my God.
Legally binding. But go ahead, Sabrina.
Wow.
Oh shoot.
Is it an annulment? Could you get annulled?
No.
They go past the laws in California. You would have
they go past the annulment date anyway by the time the show is done.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. Y'all just now getting a divorce?
Yes, girl. You gotta wait till the show over. You gotta wait till the show's over. And then in California, you gotta wait 6 months from when you file. A year and 4 months later, I'm married after an 8-week wedding. Yes. But go ahead, Sabrina. Go off.
I wish I'd have known. I could have got you. I could have got you around that 6 months. I could have got you around that 6 month, girl. I'm in California.
I just got hot.
I could have got you around the 6 months.
I didn't know you didn't. Jay,
I know. No, it probably would have been harder for you too because you're both known, and then it's a more mutual thing than to just skip around some back corners.
Marriage was filmed.
Mm-hmm.
It was filmed, and then over 8 week? Was it 8 weeks? So they're married for 8 weeks. They literally filmed them. Morning, noon, night, they're filming them going on different whatever. And then at the end, they have decision day. And decision day is they have to decide to either stay married or get a divorce. So Alexis was on that show and she literally got married at first sight. I I love her so much.
And not to mention, because I be hating, not hating, like I don't know. I appreciate you. Not to mention that I had already matched with him on Hinge prior to the actual wedding.
I remember.
So when I came around the corner down the aisle, I knew exactly who he was. I had already blocked him on Instagram. I had already, I told him I'm not interested. No, thank you. And I come around this corner and
about to be his whole wife in real life.
We're good now. We're in a great space right now. We respect each other's boundaries.
How long after the show aired that y'all just had to stay quiet anyway?
You said how long?
Yeah.
Until it's over.
Until it's airing, it's over.
And then even then, it's 5 years after that. You can't come out and say anything that wasn't shown on TV. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. But what was the question? How long do you wait to get married?
Yeah.
Like,
did anybody want to jump in on that?
Okay, so immediately is out. What's
2 days later, maybe? No.
I'll wait a week. At least. I'm reserved now. I keep it classy, so I've learned my lesson.
I would get married at first sight. I would
too.
Yes, you would.
I would try it. I would not Russian roulette, but I'd roll the dice on it.
To be honest, I feel like that's the only way I really would get married. Like,
you said that's the only way.
you one of the people, Jay, that need the forced commitment, right?
No, it's not. I don't even have the commitment issues. I could be committed. It's just the whole title of it and the procedure and everything of that part. Like right now, I feel like I'm married already, but I think I have reserved fear from watching people in my childhood just go through the whole wedding and then like 6 months later be divorced, but been together since they were 5 years old, like type situation. So it's just I am trying to get past that. I'm still working on it. I don't have the commitment issue. I can be with the same person for a very long time. It's just once we go through that whole process and title, I'd be feeling some type of way, I think. So I'm trying to get my head off of it's just another day of a life you've already been living. So I feel like if I just wake up one day on a beach or something and it just happened, then it'd be like, okay, I did it, y'all. And now I'm here. So I'm going to have to work through it.
I did. It was very short. It was only, anyway. Danny M.
What? Talk about this. Hold on.
Danny M would like to know, did she say no on decision day?
I said yes. And then not even 24 hours later, I said no. Well, I said it was like 72 hours. It was just, I was saying yes on decision day to, I'm very progressive. Like if we can make progress, we can try this out. We just know each other for 8 weeks. So let's see what life looks like without the cameras. So I was, and those were my intentions. And then we went not even off the property yet, and it was already another argument, and I was just like, I can't do this. I cannot take.
I was about to say, you knew no when y'all walked up to that table.
That's why I said the potential thing get me in so much trouble because I'm just like, I see it in you, but I can't. My pastor says you can give someone everything but a want to. If they don't want to do it, they won't do it. So I just always just want to give them that ambition, want to give them that motivation, and we just weren't meant for each other. But yes, I said no originally. I mean, yes, and then no.
Can we add that to the list of husband? I cannot be arguing with you on a regular to like,
Let me tell y'all something. They literally was sitting down. She did like this.
It was not in my titty.
I choose you because, honey, and he was like, I choose you too. I'm so glad we chose each other. I know, but did you really mean to choose me? What you mean? I chose you. He like, but did you really mean it, or was you just saying you wanted to? He was like, but I said I chose you, so I don't literally.
Oh no.
I'm talking about they got up, they was walking to the table, and that's what, and I was like, this dude, I was like, Alexis, run.
And I'm like, okay, let's go be
And when you said
Insane.
yesterday that she was good, I was like, thank you, Jesus. I was like, because he gonna drive that lady crazy. I was like, I can't. She did. She tried. And it's crazy how they kind of like made you like, people said made you look like the villain or whatever. But I'm just like, y'all don't see what I see. I'm like, anyway, that's
I would have seen it because I just
another
can't.
show.
I
Hold on.
can't. Not on our wedding day. You starting with me already, boy.
I commend you because you had patience, honey. Because oh my God. Like, that's what it was. You wasn't the villain. You wasn't aggressive. It was because you had more balls than he did. Yeah. That's why. And because he didn't really have any, it made you look like you was like this, but that wasn't the case. Anyway, child, y'all know I love me some reality TV. I'm sorry, I love me some. Let me call.
I gotta peep it.
You gotta watch it. I be in the house like, no. I be going off, man. Anyway, y'all know I'm real animated. Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How long would you wait?
I think I'm gonna go with what Alexis said at the beginning. Like, it's a little subjective because I want it. I have that desire, but I'm not pressed. So, and I'm not saying you have to be pressed, but I don't know. It just has to feel right and look right and make sense. It's so hard to tell because if in 2 weeks it's looking like something, I might say yes. In 3 months, 6 months, I'm definitely not doing all these years. And I've also decided I don't want to do a live-in situation until there's an engagement. I'm not about to be nobody's
playing house, honey.
Like, no, because
playing
and
house.
You know, guys be like, if you give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile. And like sometimes it's just like I have to put my anchor down, my whatever in the sand, and be like, this is what it is. And I feel like they move more accordingly. Or else I feel like a dude could float 5-6 years and just, hey baby, I'm home. We the bed. Like I don't want to do that. I'm not into it. I need the ring first. I need a commitment. I need and a date.
Child, I had the ring and then ended up getting all that. Bills wasn't getting paid. He was driving my car, borrowing money.
Not him changing before the wedding.
Child, I'm telling y'all, like I said, he's one of them three, man, straight for the streets. But you know, like in my head, like I was at that place in my life where, you know, if someone asked me to marry them, I'm thinking that's about to be my whole husband. Like, yeah. I'm gonna stick by my man. I'm gonna stick by him. That's my man, and I'm gonna stick by him. And that's exactly how it was. And you know, one day I realized like he was playing in my face the whole time.
Because we just got to be smart, and they'll do that.
Absolutely.
How long was it before he proposed?
You talking about after when we were dating?
Yeah.
Oh, it was actually pretty quick. I want to say it was like 6 months. It was like 6 months, and I really thought that, you know, like, and I had already seen the red flags, but at this point in my life, I was still dating potential. He was actually my last person that I was like in real life in a real relationship with, and that was 4 years ago. So he was like my last real relationship. That's when I was like, I need to figure some stuff out, Sabrina. Like, you tripping right now. And after 6 months, he asked me to marry him. After that, it was right before the COVID happened. And he was in a living situation where he was living in DC, but you know, his family was like, yeah, you got to go. Like, you know, my girl moving in, like him and his cousin, and he was like, you got to go. So he moved from DC because we were supposed to get married. He ended up moving in with me, and, you know, he didn't have a car because he was in DC. So he was driving my car back and forth. Oh, my gig ain't come up. My client didn't pay me. One bill ain't get paid. I'm paying that bill. Then it happened again. Then it happened $10,000 later. No. Like, man, no. Like I just was like, you know what? I cannot keep doing this. Like, no. Men will, and honestly, after he and I broke up, I really should do a whole YouTube video on it for real, because women really need to understand, like, men be out here preying on women. Yeah. No lie. Because when he and I broke up, everybody, because he's, you know, a well-known, you know, fashion designer and stylist. that can't sew, but that's a whole nother story. You know, when you know, our breakup happened, a lot of people like came out and was like, you know, Sabrina, you know, he does this to women. And I'm like, why would you tell me now? Like, I'm talking about my friends was like, dang, I really thought it was gonna work out. Like, you didn't know about him? I'm like, what?
Say what?
Honey, let me tell you something. I had found out that he had did this to like 2 or 3 other women, this exact same thing. There's one girl that he dated. After he did what he did to her, no one has even really seen her no more. No social media, no
She's
nothing.
probably devastated.
Devastated is not even the word. And I'm so glad, like, I got that hustle mentality. I got that, ain't nobody going, you know, you fall down 3 times, you get up 4. Like, you know, that was me. And I was like, and I'm not going to let no man like define me and make me feel like, you know, like I lost a lot in that relationship. Like even to this day, like I'm still picking myself up. So I just need you guys to know, like, you really have to be careful out there, because it really is. And he's like 54 years old. He's a grown ass man. A grown ass man. To this day, he's still paying on a bill that he has with me. And up until last month, I was like, hey, you're late again. You know, bill be $120 and he'll pay $80. And $80 be interest and late fees. I'd be like, you know, you're never gonna pay this off. And literally up until last week, he just doesn't even respond anymore. And this is a relationship, a situation I had about 4 years ago. And he still has his debt. And I guess now he's like, screw it. But he all over social media, living his best life, dressing celebrities, dressing in this movie, doing that with that person. You know what I'm saying? Love God, this, treat your queens right. And I'm telling y'all, I should do a whole video. Like, it's a freaking Lifetime movie.
Yeah, because there's a lot of that out here.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all do not understand.
We got to be smarter.
Careful.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, you know, this was my most expensive lesson I have ever learned in my life. And it's cool because I had to learn that lesson. But you know, to be honest with you, like I asked, even my mama didn't like him. My mom was like, I don't like him. She would not acknowledge him. She wouldn't look at him. She wouldn't speak to him. And one day I was like, Mom, like, why you? She was like, he's no good. And one day you will see.
She
honey,
smelled it.
Honey wouldn't even acknowledge him. He would come up and he would be like, hi, Mrs. She'd do just like this. She literally would turn her nose to him, to turn her face to him. And like, that's real. So yeah, like, please be careful, y'all. But it's cool because I really forced this relationship. I wanted this relationship. In the beginning, he wasn't even thinking about me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make him think about me. That I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why 4 years ago I said, Sabrina, you need to work on yourself. Like, something is wrong. Like, are you missing something? Like, you know, you got some issues going. Like, what is it? Like, you saw that this man towards the end wasn't shit, but you still was like, you know, that's gonna be my husband. Like, let me, like, you dating potential. Like, you saw the red, yellow, and all the flags, all the orange flags. You saw them. Like, why did you still try to pursue this man? You know what I mean? So yeah, like, it's serious out there. Y'all just have to be really, really careful. And if you really feel it in your heart that this person is not good for you, and you feel it in your gut, and women's intuition, believe it, trust it, do not doubt it,
and act on it.
Honey, I cannot stress it enough.
It's the acting on it.
Maybe we should share one of these days. We should share our stories on when we didn't act on our intuition.
Yes.
I got plethora. Like, it's just very much, and it's the same thing you said, Sabrina. I'd be thinking to myself, like, Jamie, like, are you for real right now? Like,
Yeah.
You see, you did this literally again, right? Like, I need you to sit down. You did it again. So what fail safes do we need to put in play when your little negotiator starts telling you, instead of go now, let's just wait a few months and see. And then you think some other kind of truth is going to come up in between the time you got the message and the time you decide to act on it? You just wasted time. And how many times are you going to do that?
Yeah. Yep.
You're losing time, energy, sometimes mileage. Like, what are we doing?
Absolutely.
You
It's
know,
on.
you know what it is too. I'm sorry to cut you off,
No,
Jamie.
you can.
Because I had to sit with myself and say them same questions, like, what's going on? What are we doing? And I realized that I wasn't completely replenishing myself after relationships. Sometimes,
Yes.
even if I took a long break in between, sometimes I just wasn't doing the work that I needed to be doing on myself. And so once I started doing that work and getting into my happy space, it's kind of hard for you to come in when I'm happy and make me feel anything other than. Because if you don't add to my happiness or at least maintain it at a steady level that it continues to increase, baby, I don't need you around me. Bye. But before then, I wasn't in a happy place. So I was just meeting and greeting people and just finding happiness in their company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of in my own.
Yeah, we be forcing it. That's good. In their company instead of your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to stop forcing it. It is not that serious just to say you have a husband. I know too many women who's just like, my husband, and you'll see it on the gram too. It look good. He on one knee. Y'all just had a baby. It's all this and that. But I know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yes.
And there is no way I would opt to that. I'll let people talk about me. I'm this age. She don't. Okay. I'm not about to disturb my peace to keep up with Instagram so I could prove that I could get a husband for what? If I wanted to be married, I could have did that 20 years ago or whatever. But it's just like, we have to be careful with that because we're setting ourselves up and it's really messing us up, especially when, it comes time to kind of love on the right man. It's like, now he really got to work. It's just a lot for no reason.
Exactly. And that's exactly why I am still single, because I'm like, all this healed loving I got, I'm not going to just give it to anybody. I work too hard to get to where I am to be just giving it away to somebody that's 50%.
Oh,
honey. Anyway,
50%?
We talked about that earlier, but
that's my main, like the older I've gotten, that's the main mindset that I go into relationships with now is I'm not going to leave with less than I came in with.
Slow clap. Slow clap.
That one right there.
And it's like, yeah, we can think about monetarily, everything, like, I'm sorry, Sabrina, that, that's $10,000. Shoot. But like when it comes down to me going to sleep at night, me sleeping by myself with my thoughts, I don't want to leave this relationship with anything that I did not come in with, I don't want no anxiety. Like if I didn't come with anxiety, I'm not trying to leave with it. If I didn't come with depression, you get what I'm saying? Like, so when I enter situations, it comes along a lot of the times where I'm like, what are you carrying? Is there something, did you come in with these bags or is that something that somebody else passed to you? Like at the airport, don't touch any unidentified objects and packages, like that's not your stuff. So leave it where it's at. And I gotta come to the point where I gotta choose myself. And like you said, Jamie, after that mock wedding situation, I'm really just like, oh, all right, I'm gonna just be the fine auntie, the fine rich auntie. That's what I'm settling into because I can't do it.
I
just said that the other day.
We be doing it.
I'm gonna be that before I get into something just to have a man. Yes, I want it. But if I have to be the fine, rich, single auntie with no kids, it is what it is. Would I love to be a wife and do the whole, I could kill that, but it's not going to be any of these shenanigans because I come first. Like, it's me first. If it's not me first, how are we even going to do this thing? How am I even going to be solid and aligned enough to magnetize the right thing and to navigate? Most people are operating on, I find that a lot of people are operating on what they think they should be doing and what society and all of this stuff, rather than the truth of who they are. And a lot of people are running around with their tanks like half full, and then
exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. Pouring from an empty cup. Child.
Yeah. So like deep truth on so my reserve for getting married, of course, is because I haven't done it yet. And I want it to be a one-time deal. No shame to anybody else that have it. That's why it's taking me so long to do it too. Like I want it to be a one-time deal. And the thought of being with somebody for the rest of my life, however long that be, I need to know that you are willing to absolutely grow with me and give me all the grace that I need in return, I can do the same for you, because I understand us as humans, this is a learning process as we live. Like, when none of us just have a good manual on anything in life. We just going along, getting along, and hope that we make it right. So I just really want that one person that's really in it with that partnership, that say, I'm going to stick by your side, good or bad, but mostly through the good, because that's the times I want to have. I want to have nothing but good times, baby. Like,
I love to have fun. I'm with you on that. I realize there's other stuff that comes, but it's like, this could be so fun. That's one of my pillars in life, is fun. It's one of my 4 pillars. So I feel you on that.
yeah, I just feel like life is just so much funner, easier, happier, like when we just in good space. That's why I said, Alexis, more power to you, sweetie. You went through this thing fussing and fighting with a man right after you walk away saying I do. Like, I could not, like, and I've been in a relationship like that where, I had to step back and say, well, hold on, I'm not actually in a relationship with you. We have a friendship, so we are fighting. What the heck is going on?
What is happening?
Yep, exactly.
I'm trying to age backwards forever. I'm trying to be fine. 104, just like, yeah, girl, I still model.
104.
Yeah. I still want to be fine at 104. Like, listen, back in the day, I used to get it popping. Like, I'm trying to be
buttons.
And honestly, it's really about like the happiness and the peace that you have in your life, and what you're putting into your body. Like right now, because I'm like going through this whole holistic kind of thing, like the foods that I'm eating, the things that I'm drinking, me like going to the gym. I just feel like this. If I'm conscious about what I put in my body, like the foods and stuff, why I need to be conscious about the people that I'm allowing into my space, and then with my energy, like I need to be conscious about everything around me and what I'm putting into me. Like not just the foods and it, like, yeah, it's very, very important. And I'm gonna tell you this, since then, I can honestly say like how I looked 4 years ago and how I look now, I feel like I look a little younger. When I look back at some of the pictures, I look a lot younger now.
That man was stressing you.
Let me tell you something.
Listen,
life is good.
It's great.
Life is good, man. That's why when people be like, Sabrina, you want a man. I'm like, no, I just want peace, love, and happiness. And he's just an addition to all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And unless, and I say this all the time, unless you are where I am, you won't understand. Like I had a man before. I had those things before. Had those people before. Didn't do anything. Like it needs to be an addition. It needs to pour into me. And if he can't, I'm good with it. And that's where I feel like a lot of us need to really understand. You have to have that happiness and that love and peace with yourself first. But when his ass goes somewhere else, you like, oh, well, shit, I'm good.
Right.
Like his loss. You know what I'm saying? So,
and even it's almost like too. I read something the other day which kind of helped me a little bit, and it can be his loss, but it also is kind of like maybe it's not. Like I'm not the one for you.
Yeah,
so
that part.
It's okay. Go. You find what works for you. I'll find what works for me. Because I feel like when I was thinking that way, it still made. I don't know. It left some kind of weird chord that made me feel like, oh. But it's like, no, we ain't, and that's okay. You go find you something for you, because I do love you enough. I want you to be happy. I don't know what it looks like, and now you're out of my life. It's none of my business. But you're right. It's the happiness that we're supposed to have with ourselves that I feel like people miss. I could just speak mostly, for women. We get caught up quick sometimes.
Yes. But out of all these panels and shows that we've done, I think if you guys really go back and watch all of the panels, you will see us talking about so many different topics. The men's point of view, the women's point of view. That's why like we have these talks and these shows to bring awareness and to educate and for you guys to hear different experiences. And so if you're like, yeah, wait a minute, I remember I heard that, and oh yeah, I don't need to do that, or maybe I need to do it like this, or maybe I should, or you know what I mean? So just take all these panels and shows. Like, it's definitely entertainment. It's all these different personalities, so you get all these different views, but it's definitely like educational and it's positive. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, just to let you guys know, tomorrow, the Kings panel, next week is the last show for Single Soul Mates. Next week,
for the season.
For the season, just for the season, because you guys know I only do Single Soul Mates in between the time between the Ready to Love shows, and Ready to Love Dallas will be airing July the 7th. And you guys know on the Fridays, I do have my live reaction watch party. And usually probably on Tuesday or maybe Wednesday, the following week, I will have my live panel reviews discussing Ready to Love. And I know you guys love Ready to Love. So tomorrow night, we're going to have the men's panel. The following week, it's going to be a panel with the men and the women. We're joining them all together, and we're coming on here talking about 4 more new topics. And then other than that, we're getting ready for Ready to Love. Well, anyway, we're going to wrap it up. I know we actually went a little longer tonight. We had some good conversations.
It was fun.
I just want to say I thank you ladies so very much. I appreciate you. You guys are everything. You could have been anywhere, but tonight you guys and my panel was here with me, and I love you guys so much. I think Alexis probably went away, but we're going to go ahead. Y'all go around. And
I'm still here.
Okay, perfect. Alexis, Jamie, and Jay, let them know who you are, where they can find you on your socials, if you're working on any projects, etc. We're going to do an extroduction.
Oh, my dog was needing my attention. Sorry.
It's okay.
My name is Alexis Grace Williams. I can be found on Instagram, TikTok, pretty much any social media at Alexis Grace W. My extroduction. I am a reality TV dabbler, so you might see me in some other reality TV shows. I was once on Married at First Sight season 15. That's pretty much it about me.
Yay, Jamie.
Yes, I'm Jamie Alexander. You guys can find me on Instagram and YouTube with my name here. And I am doing life coaching, and it's been so much fun. I actually have guys and girls, despite this sassy. I told my guys, I'm like, thank you for rocking with me, even though the acronym is SASSY. I know y'all not trying to be sassy, but it stands for self-love and mastery, accountability and alignment, spiritual wellness supplanted in your why. And I use all of those things in a method that I created to really help get you unstuck from your patterns. It's stuff that I've had to do. I'm very well traveled, very well read, lots of life experiences, daughter of a military man. I just got this unique mashup that has been, this service has been helping people tremendously. So you could check me out at sassymethod.com.
Jay.
Hey everybody, I'm Jay from Another Round. That's Another Round JS on YouTube and Another Round _JS on Instagram. Sabrina, sorry, I'm being moved today to say another word. So this one's for you, baby. Okay, I want this man that comes into you and your child's life. Okay, he has to love you both. But that smile, that glow you have right now, that everything that you have, I want it to be even brighter. I want this man, when he sees you and he leaves you, you miss him because his energy adds more fuel to your fire. I don't want him to put out any of your flames, okay, mama? He needs to love you all the way for who you are in this moment and as you grow into the next. He better come at you with he is your husband and the father of your child. And I mean, he better love Sador like that his own, okay? I want him to be overprotective of her. And all that he brings, okay? I don't, nothing else, nothing less.
I receive.
Delicious. I love it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I've been moved tonight to say a couple of things. Alexis, I'm working on you. I know you and your relationship, so I got to I'm gonna leave your happiness over there right now.
I'm so happy.
Happy right now, you know. I gotcha.
Yeah. And if y'all actually want to hear a little bit more about Alexis and where she's at right now after Married at First Sight, I actually interviewed her on The Missing Link. You guys can go back and watch that. And yeah, and definitely follow the ladies on. Jay, did you say where you were? No.
I did. I said it before.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow everyone. Jay actually put them another round, put them in the chat for you guys to follow the ladies. If you want to follow me on the my social media platforms, it's probably not in the description box below, but I will add it. So anyone that's watching the repeat of this, the replay, all my stats will be down below. You can follow me actually too. Everything is at Miss Sabrina Seoul on Twitter, on TikTok. I ain't really on there. On Instagram, here on YouTube. Make sure you like this video on the way out. If you are new here, shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that black notification bell so every time I do live, go do an upload or anything, you'll be the first to know. And other than that, thank you so much. I will see you here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Love you so much, guys.